Let's get real on WinnFm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinnFM. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinnFM.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Let's get real on WinnFM. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinnFM. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinnFM. It is 5 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. Good evening, St. Kitts and Nevis. How are you guys doing? Once again, this is Lavi right here with Real Talk. And last week, as I was driving home, I saw the new road that everybody is talking about. That's the roundabout up there in St. Peter's. And I was very impressed. You know, we have our way, everything them are criticized. But for me, I think I was very grateful to see the improvement of what is happening here in our beautiful Federation, St. Kitts and Nevis. Yes, so what I did, I went along and I actually did a video, you know, telling people about the roundabout. And we did had a few mixed responses. And I must tell you this, it was very positive regardless. But a number of persons were saying, oh, who should think should be? Should the police? And I'm not the police. I'm just a humble public servant, want to just be a part of my beautiful federation. So what I did, Real Talk with Lavi, guess what she did? She reached out to the Commissioner of Police. Yes, that's Mr. Sutton, that's Commissioner Sutton, and I asked him if he can help us, Real Talk, in informing the public on the way to use the new roundabout. And I'm so happy, you know, Real Talk with Lavi, like I said, reached out and they responded. And I was told that our guest was going to be none other than the famous traffic cop. Who don't know who the famous traffic cop is? Well, I'm going to tell all you. It's still Officer Donnelly Shivatana.
Libert Shiverton.
Libert Shiverton, thank you for that.
You want to make sure you say it properly too, eh?
But thank you. You hear that? Because the girl, listen, Donnelly is just, she's perfect to be in that role that she's in. And I consider Miss Libert Donnelly, Libert Shiverton,
Yes.
she is known internationally, you know, for the lunchtime traffic show at 4th Street and the famous Keon Streets. Okay? So, Officer Donnelly Shiverton, Libert Shiverton, she's not going to be here with us tonight. I came excited, but I understand that she, you know, had a long day, very tired, and, you know, and actually, she basically was trying to fit in because the woman is such a busy woman, right? But I'm honored to know that she was able to send Officer Bell, that is no stranger to the radio, you know, WinnFM, ZIZ. He's no stranger to the media. So it seems as if Officer Libert Shiverton has been doing her work and molding and training. And I'm here in the company of Officer Bell. But before I introduce you officially, I just want for you to please extend, you know, a hearty thank you to the commissioner to allowing you guys to be here on the show with Real Talk with Lavi, to really put the professional, you know, the regulations, the general regulations and rules when it comes to the roads, but in particular, for now, the roundabout, right? And not just the St. Peter's, but roundabout rules and regulations. I myself don't want some, even though I went on Facebook. I went and I put out my video and I do my little thing because I have been driving since I was 17 years old. And I see the roundabout as like highways, just like similar to the US. And I feel that if I can do it, other people can do it. And Real Talk with Lavi is a very informative program that is for the indigenous, everybody, the diaspora, wherever you are. This is what Real Talk is about. It is for everybody that is living in St. Kitts and the people that we're welcoming back to our beautiful island, St. Kitts and Nevis. So a pleasant good evening to you, Officer Bell.
Yes, good evening. So yes, my name is Constable Bell. I'm a senior investigator at the traffic department. I heard you said you want me to thank the commissioner, but I must thank you on behalf of the commissioner for having us here to, you know, educate the public about our traffic rules and our traffic laws, you know. So
Yes.
thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here to, you know, have the chance to educate the public a bit more. You know, we come here on Mondays in the morning We go to ZIZ on Wednesdays also in the morning. But sometimes it's good to have extra time because the time run out so fast
Yeah.
for these programs. So I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come here and, clarify whatever questions you might have and the public,
Yes,
so.
yeah. You're very knowledgeable, and I feel really blessed to see that we have an officer. I can hear it from you that you respect your work and everything. And this is what we need back here in our community, St. Kitts and Nevis, where our people, the community, feel comfortable having conversations with the officers, because officers are not just there, and as people will think, in the uniform to just come to when something happened.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
we try to prevent things from happening.
Absolutely, and you guys are human regardless,
Yes.
So I'm happy to know that I have to say it right. Donnelly Liebert Shiverton, she
Yes.
made the right decision. She was not here, and she sent someone to represent. So thank you also for being here. I recognize that you're not a stranger to the airways and to the traffic. You said you have been doing this for how long?
A little bit over 2 years.
Over 2 years?
I've been in and out, but officially and a regular over 2 years.
Oh, wow. So tell us a little bit about yourself, officer.
Well,
Like where you from, who you be, who your people be. It's Real Talk with Lavi, eh?
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from St. Kitts. I'm from Parsons. Yeah, but I live in Bastille right now. I've been a police officer for 11 years now.
Why you look like a baby just come
Yeah,
out?
that's- Yes, and I've been at the traffic department since 2018. So I've been investigating, traffic accidents, traffic offenses, assisting with, license, stuff like that. So I could say I've been in traffic for majority of my policing.
That's nice. And I never even take the time out to single out police officers in terms of their role. But I feel pleased to know that you're placed in a position that you have to deal with the general public on a regular basis, not just going out and taking reports, but dealing with people. And it's very good when we can see the police force is sending someone that, to me, is a people friendly, very
Yes.
humble and stuff like that. We need that. We need more of that. So I just want to let you know, we're just here with this lot of compliments. It's good, eh? Vibes, energy.
It's good to get compliments because we get a lot of criticisms.
I
also.
know, right?
So
I don't know what I expected, but I saw you come up in your uniform, and I was like, oh, that's a young police. But you say you have been in there for 11 years.
yes.
Respect to you. I can see good things happening to you, for you.
Thanks.
All right. So let's get into the itty, because we have a lot of roundabouts here in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's one in Canary,
Yes.
one in the Kings Collins Highway,
Yes. ECCB roundabout.
ECCB, in the direction of going to Frigate Bay or Birdwalk or Bastille.
Yes.
Then we have the FT Williams Highway.
We have couple there. We have the at Gillard's gas station.
Right,
We
right,
have
the ending of that,
Shadwell roundabout.
Shadwell Roundabout.
And we have the one over at Buckley's.
At Buckley's. Do you have any in the country area?
Roundabout Molyneux.
Oh, yes, Molyneux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molyneux. I think that's the only
Roundabout
in
the
the countryside.
countryside.
Yes.
Big up Molyneux. All right. So I'm going to ask you this question. A number of persons seem to think of the idea that the roundabout should have stoplights. I was told that even though stoplights are good, stoplights can also slow down the traffic, and roundabout help to make the traffic flow. Is that true?
I have never really seen any stoplights at any roundabouts. So to say what impact that would have made, I can't speak of.
Right.
But based on how the roundabouts are laid out right now, I think that's a very effective way. You come and you give way to the right. In certain areas like America, you give way to the left. you know, because they
They
drive on the different
right-hand
side.
right.
But here in St. Kitts, we give way to the right. So stoplights would have the traffic backed up unnecessarily because, you know, it's a timely rotation. Whereas when you come to the roundabout, if nothing is coming, you can proceed. Nothing is coming from your right, you can proceed. So whether or not you come down and nothing is coming, you don't have to be there waiting on a red light to turn green. So the light is gonna,
Slow
in
down.
my opinion,
Yes.
slow up the traffic more and cause a more congestion and force persons now who are approaching the roundabout, for example, seeing the yellow or even the red,
Oh yeah.
to try and force out.
Yes.
And that now will cause a collision.
I could use the word you're using the professional word. You're using force. They're gonna run the red light.
Yes, well, as we say, the board is stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the way that we have the roundabout here, the procedure for here in St. Kitts and Nevis, it's effective in my opinion. So
I think so too. I just want to let persons know that it's 16 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock right down in St. Kitts and Nevis. I am Lavern Davis, and this is Real Talk with Lavi. Tonight we have our special guest representing the Royal St. Kitts Police Force, and we have Officer Bell. And our topic tonight is the roundabouts and, you know, the general rules and, of course, roads in particular. But we just have an hour, so we just want to maybe give as much as possible when it comes to the roundabout. Before I start asking you more questions, I did ask you because, you know, Dr. Sidri Walwyn is a big fan of Real Talk with Lavi. He has been a part of this program from ever since it started. He has been a guest more than numerous of times and give a lot of his knowledge. And when I asked you if you know him, if you was working there, you said that's my pops.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking at what he just typed there, and he said that is my son. Without the knowledge, knowing that you said that's my
Yes.
pops.
Yes.
So big up both of you guys.
Yes, he was actually the commissioner of police when I swore in.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah, I could say the pops and son for
Yeah.
real. Awesome. That's like 11 years ago.
Yes.
Nice. Look at that, eh? Okay. So, could you elaborate on the most common mistakes or misunderstanding drivers have when approaching and using multi-lane roundabouts, specifically the new one in St. Peter's? Is it St. Peter's or Shadwell? Shadwell, right?
Shadwell.
Shadwell, St. Peter's.
So
either one,
Shadwell,
either.
yeah, either one. Yes. But,
Oh, by the way, I'm from St. Peter's, eh, so forgive me if you hear me sounding like this.
Trust me, I'm not any stranger to that. Like, I'm from back of the land, we call the countryside.
Yeah.
So
when I hear St. Peter's, all
Yeah.
one, how will piece
Yeah.
it's Shadwell, St. Peter's.
yes.
Anyway.
But to answer your question, if I'm understanding right, you're asking what is the main problem or issue for motorists using the roundabout?
Yes.
Investigating accidents. One of the main.
And I roundabouts, but the multi lanes, you know,
Yeah.
right? Because it is a roundabout, yes, but because there's so much lanes.
Yeah, I understand. So sometimes maybe persons are not paying attention, or two, they make sudden decisions when entering the roundabout. For example, we are coming from the Gillard's gas station direction heading to St. Peter's.
Yes.
Now, the roundabout is set in a way, the inner lane, which we consider to be the right lane, it's if you intend to go back around the roundabout, make a U-turn, or to make a right turn. The outer lane, which we call the left lane, is to continue straight ahead or to make a left turn. Now, sometimes persons enter in the left lane and there's a vehicle entering the right lane. which is intending to go to St. Peter's. But the one in the left lane also is intending to go to St. Peter's. So now you find when they're going around, the vehicle in the left lane is trying to cross over to try and proceed to St. Peter's, and we have a collision. Vice versa. Persons may have trying to go, straight to Buckley's. They're in the left lane. Another vehicle entered the roundabout in the right lane and is trying to go straight to Buckley's also. And then we have collision. So persons misuse the lanes too often, and that's why we have the collisions majority of the times. Now, the second issue that we have, now I'm basing on the roundabout for now.
Yes.
Persons approaching the roundabout, they see vehicles coming from the right. They are supposed to give way to the right, but however, they try to take a chance, or as you would say, board the way, force the way. So, they enter the roundabout, failing to give way, and there's an impact. Or even persons trying to avoid the impact, they still, they pull off, or they try to pull right to avoid that. And a vehicle that is traveling in the inner lane now is inconvenience, and there's a collision.
Yes. Yeah.
So, as I said, in my opinion, based on me dealing with accidents, especially in the roundabouts, the main factor for these accidents are persons misusing their lanes.
And that's true. And a lot of people always seem to be in a rush.
Yes. A lot of people fail to, be considerate also to other users. They're inconsiderate, especially at that same roundabout. We have a slip lane.
I love it.
Yes, I love it also.
Yes.
But before I go to the Shadwell roundabout slip lane, there was a slip lane installed at Connery first. Now, my observation, which I try to understand, is persons are colliding with the island, the curb in these slip lanes, which shows that they are not paying much attention when approaching the roundabouts.
Right.
And that's why we find a lot of people, they run straight into the island in the roundabout and collide with the framing for these things.
Yes, and because they're speeding also.
Yes, speeding is the main factor. But with the speed, they're not they're not paying attention, or they're either intoxicated, or they need to see a doctor to write them off from driving, because at the Buckley's roundabout, this roundabout get a lot of licks. If people talk about knockbout, they should think about that roundabout. Yeah. As it is fixed back, somebody knock it out by the next morning, and I don't understand. How could people be approaching a roundabout where they are supposed to slow down and give way, are impacting these roundabouts so high they will straight through damage?
I wake up! Well. Atata woulda never wake up. Atata woulda never. Oh God, we had too much. Bottles from bottle. Let's do this. Couldn't believe on me with this tragedy. When I wake up, the light can be jump all over me, and I tell me.
How is the roundabout? Is the regulation? Is that in when persons are going to take the test? So because if a lot of people are not understanding, because some maybe they're not educated about it. I'm not saying everybody, but is this something that will be a part when they're doing the drivers?
Yes, and I could speak from my instructor. Shaq was my instructor when I was.
Big up yourself, Shaq.
Yeah, when I was going for my license, and he was one very
Very
thorough with that roundabout. You know, even when we do shows or even when we go to we go to schools, workplaces, you know, who have a large scale of drivers and stuff like that to, you know, educate them, because we're not just here to enforce the law and,
Correct.
you know, arrest people or bring down the law on people. We try to educate them, especially when we make changes, you know. So even though we're going to still hear, oh, we never know, or we never hear this and this and that.
Some people hear what they want to hear, but
Yes.
I'm just saying that.
No, you're correct, because not to stray from the roundabout, the speeding cameras. Now, back then you would have seen officers out with the speed gun, and you would see people speeding, and in 1 week or 1 month, one driver committed a speeding offense 3 and 4 times. You know, but they would go on the social media and abuse the specific officer that gave them the ticket and said that the officer is picking on them, they beg a chance, and if they don't get a chance, they have the worst to say about the police. You know, but no, they can't beg a chance with the robot. They can't say the robot picking on them because you don't know who the driver is. All you know, this vehicle is committing the offense that is set for. And you see how they start complying. You see how they start dragging like snails. But when the police are physically out there, you know, they try to come down and beg for the most leniency. And then as they, you use the discretion and you give them a chance, as they pass, they stoops and say, they're stupid.
Yeah.
They're gone
Because
again.
we can, and I'm saying we, which is unfortunate. I mean, as grown adults, I've seen where many people, and I'm going to use the word we, can be very disrespectful, and sometimes for no reason. Maybe, as I said, some people feel like they can just get away and say anything. Again, I just want to thank you for being here and even helping me understand the roundabout. Because a lot of persons, even though we are from St. Kitts and Nevis, some people travel and they have not been back in St. Kitts for quite a while too. And coming back here was kind of confusing. I know I had an issue because I was not thinking driving and like just keep left. You know, you just look at the roundabout, and because our persons were driving too. And then one day, I was speaking to a particular traffic police, and they laid it out to me. They carried me right up by the East System area. And I was like, but it's true, and it makes sense. Because if you're going on left on the outer lane, right? And you know you're going to go stay east, to Frigate Bay. You should not be in the outer lane, you should be in the inner lane, right? Like keep left.
If you're coming
from the airport area, like from Conwy, because you will already be in your left.
And you're going to Frigate Bay?
Yes.
You should stay in the left lane.
You should stay in the left lane,
Yes.
right? And there's another thing that I want to ask you, because to me it's just like when you're in the States driving on the highway. If for whatever reason, if somebody was going to Frigate Bay and they, for whatever reason, they changed their mind and they wanted to go Sebastia, you people not supposed to just come and cross over. You need to continue go and then come back. So instead of they trying to cut cross someone, because the roundabout supposed to be flowing, right? It's not something we're supposed to stop.
Yes, but just to add to that, if there's a sudden change, based on how close you are to the exit,
Right.
for the roundabout,
Yes.
with proper indication and with adequate time in advance, they could still proceed along the roundabout, switching lanes, but they must indicate appropriately in the appropriate timing. They cannot just indicate now and start switching. So as I said, it depends on how close they are to the exit
Exactly.
in the
And
roundabout.
then, and depending, as you say,
And depending on how, you know, the traffic flow is.
Yes.
Also.
Correct. And
But they would be doing that at their own risk.
And if it's not, as you said, depending on how it is, sometimes you just have to give it up and just continue and come back.
Yes.
Because it's to me, I always say the life you save can be your own.
Yes, because when you, and as we spoke, we compared to America. If you miss your exit, you have to drive some distance to find back whatever
Exactly.
lane you
Yeah,
have to get back
yeah,
to.
that's my
And
whole
you know,
point.
and here it's nowhere in St. Kitts is
It's
far.
far. The
So-
most you have here is if you have a good 20 minutes, you have it.
So if it takes you 2 minutes to go up to Sugars and turn back and come back down, it's better than you being there 2 hours after causing an accident.
Exactly. Right. Another thing that I've witnessed, and I'm sure you're aware of it, is the tailgating where persons I've seen many times. I said, you know what? I just pull over, I let it go their way. Because I feel like if I have to stop, they're just gonna run into me.
Yeah, and that put a lot of fear in the drivers in front also, you know, depending on how confident they are, because persons do complain about that. Even my wife sometimes, you know, she don't like people driving directly underneath of her. You know. I personally, I don't try to pay it no mind, because I'm like, well, if they hit me, they better be able to compensate me. You know, I just don't want them to hit me in a way, you know, where my son or anybody
And
get
we don't
injured.
know how it's gonna
Yeah.
impact. You know,
Yeah,
we might
but-
think it's something simple, but we don't know the impact of
Yeah,
that.
but persons driving, tailgating, I find it to be ridiculous, you know, because you cannot see what is in front of the driver in front of you. You don't know if a ball is going to run out in the road and a child is coming behind it. You don't know if an animal is running out in the road and that driver is trying to avoid having a collision. So now they're going to mash sudden brakes and you collide it to the back of the vehicle. And I find when we go to accidents, you know, some persons, they collide from the back and they come and they give you such a detailed statement just to tell you they still run into the back of the person's vehicle. They're going to be like, oh, I was driving and the person just made a sudden stop.
But two ranks. And you game boy for my money man buy. What you gonna do? That's why you're here. Okay. The girl me use to love, she find another man. A money man from England. He buy a house, he buy her land. Every Friday she in a money ground with big money in she hand. But I don't give a damn. She think me vex, bitch tubes. She think me quiet, bitch tubes. Girl me happy cause I confused. And this was my reaction when I heard the news. I was like, okay, okay, okay. What you want me do? Okay, okay, okay. What you want me say? Okay, okay, okay. What you want me do? Okay, okay, okay. The girl turn mosquito, she a bite hard. And I talk, oh, she love when she there in my yard. Everything out of she motor money and backyard. Me never ever hear the girl talk, oh God. She coulda pretty like Nicki Minaj. She can't sweet talk me bout body massage. And me she want, a the money man she want. And me she want, a the money man she want. She think me vex, bitch too. She think me quiet, bitch too. Girl me happy cause I confused. And this was my reaction when I heard the news. I was like, okay, okay, okay. What you want me do? Okay, okay, okay. What you want me say? Okay, okay, okay. What you want me do? Okay, okay, okay. This girl is a gold digger. She take your money, build a house cause she goes bigger. And if one time you can't give her, she will go behind your back and touch her next nigga. Hey, that's how we go, that's how we go. Now make a girl take me to Papi show. That's how we go, that's how we go. Them say me getting bite, but me already know. She think me vex, bitch too. She think me quiet, bitch too. Girl me happy cause I confused. And this was my reaction when I heard the news. I was like, okay, okay, okay. What you want me do? Okay, okay, okay. What you want me say? Okay, okay, okay. What you want me do? Okay, okay, okay. Yo, you know it's about 2 ranks. So you man say, don't make nobody stress you. Okay, okay, okay. Bitch troops.
for example, if I'm coming from Connery to Bastille, now the bus stops, the child is coming out of the bus, but the child want to cross to go on the other side of the road. But the door for that bus is on the left side.
Right.
So they wouldn't want the child to jump out and cross in front of the bus, and then something is coming from behind and collide with the child.
Where this particular bus had stopped, there was enough.
I'm just saying based on my experience
Right.
with seeing persons doing that.
Correct. No, you good. But based on where I saw that bus, there was a lot of entrance on the left hand side where the bus could have pulled over and the child could have been over there. Because the child was not crossing on the other road.
No, but I'm just saying they do that if the child is crossing the road. If the child was not crossing the road, I didn't see that to be necessary. But if the child is crossing from left to right or from right to left, then they would allow them to pass. You know, I haven't seen any motorists or anybody called or complain for these. But if the child is staying on the left side, I don't think the driver have a reason to slant in the road.
And again, I'm not stressing on this, but I think that they should be getting the drivers should be getting some kind of permission from the traffic to do some of these things, because sometimes it might look like they're doing something right, but backing up the traffic and nobody really know what is happening. So maybe that's something to look into.
And that's why I said they must indicate to other motorists what their intentions are.
No, but they don't say nothing. They just book wherever to stop the traffic.
I've seen drivers indicate to persons. They would put out their hand, they slow down, and as I said, if it's not a child, it might be an elderly person that is trying to cross. So instead of the bus driver just stopping and putting them out and driving off, and they're standing up waiting to try chance a timing to pass, the bus driver tried to allow them to pass before he
And
did.
again, I guess this is saying kids, but children that are underage should be accompanied by an adult also.
Where?
If you're gonna have a child 5 years on the bus, it should be accompanied by an adult.
Okay, say one, say
anyway.
two, but with, sometimes parents, they working schedule and stuff like that, it kind of.
Working or not working, I guess it's
Yeah.
the same case, but in time, we have to move with the time because that child is still under parental care or guardian. So even if parents working, then it is like for
Some
me.
persons don't have that luxury for
They can have
for-
that luxury. Remember, it's a village I help raise children, so you can always
Yeah.
call somebody
Yeah,
to help you with that child.
But say one, say two, sometimes we as persons in this society make it hard for parents to trust other people with their children.
But they're trusting the same thing with the child and by itself, so it's good if the child would have somebody to accompany. But that's another topic anyway. Because at the end of the day,
For each point that we agree on, they would still have a valid point for persons to disagree on.
of course,
Yes,
of course, but yeah.
Yo, Slick, get them with it quick. Let's go. Yeah, the ball, baby. Wireless, mister, wireless, mister. On the game. Anywhere we go, anywhere we fit. Pure options, pure type of music. But when we read the job, different type of vibes, energy sky high, higher than Costa League. If you're proud to be a city shine, put your hands in the air, put your flags in the air. If you're proud to be a division, put something in the air, put your flags in the air. Let's go, hey, you over there, so come in.
And practice, in my view, that I guess they didn't see to be hazardous or dangerous to road users, to say like persons complained about for them to have to make a change or issue.
Adrena says,
Say that the police give persons
right now we just gon' bounce like we love. This time to
A good thing. But anyway, let's move on. This we'll talk with Lavi. A lot of people don't get into your feelings. We're just trying to get information to help other persons. This is nothing to do with me. I'm just basically here delivering the information that can help educate and, help us go together as a nation and understanding some of the rules and regulation that could help save lives, right? Okay. So what are the key visual cues or road marketing that drivers should pay close attention to as they enter, navigate, and exit the St. Peter's roundabout?
I don't think I really understand that question. I don't know if you want to summarize it.
I guess it basically saying what are the visual cues or road marketing drivers should pay close attention to as they enter to navigate the exit of the St. Peter's roundabout. I think, like, when you're coming from St. Peter's, if you know you're going to be going left, they should already try to navigate it.
Okay, I
Like
understand. I
at
understand.
early,
Yes.
instead of coming down in the middle. I mean, sometimes, as I said, it could be last minute, but you're supposed to always pay attention to know, well, you're going to this place, you're going around the boat is going to be there, try and stay in the lane where you need to go as
And
possible.
I think I kind of touched on it earlier.
did.
Persons entering the roundabout, the first thing they should do is make sure that they're entering in the right lane. Now, the second thing is, even though you enter in the right lane, when exiting, you must reach over in the left lane before you exit the roundabout. You must cross that left lane. But after you pass the last exit before your exit, you must indicate that you're exiting the roundabout.
Okay, so coming from St. Peter's, what I've witnessed, the one in Canary, it have the lines in the road where you can yield, like when you're going to go in the slip to go left. But I realized the one in St. Peter's, all you have is just the sign to, there's nothing like to yield, but that doesn't mean you cannot, you still have to slow down.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just a little feedback in the.
Oh, okay.
in the thing as well.
Yeah.
So, as I was stating, before you enter the roundabout, you must enter in the right lane. When I say the right lane, the right lane that you need to enter in. You have the left lane and the right lane. But you must enter in the appropriate lane. I mean, not say the right lane to mix up persons. You must enter in the appropriate lane. And when you're exiting, you must indicate so motorists can know your intention prior to your exit.
Okay, so when you're going to, say, St. Peter's, right? And in junction between to go to St. Peter's or to go to down Greenlands. So if you're going to St. Peter's, which lane should you be in, the inner or the outer
And
left?
what direction you say you're coming from?
You're coming from Gillard's area.
You must be in the right lane.
In the right, that's the
Yes.
inner.
Yes. And
The outer, sorry.
The inner. The inner.
The
lane.
inner.
Yes. And after you pass that exit by Greenlands, you must start indicating to show that you're going to be exiting at the next
At the
exit.
next exit.
Yes.
So if you're going to continue now to
Adrena says,
highway,
right now we just gon' bounce like we love.
Stay in the left lane
the left one,
because the basic to the roundabout is if you're going right or making a U-turn, you enter in the right lane. If you're going straight ahead or you're making a left turn, you stay in the out.
Adrena says,
on to St. Peter's, which lane would you go into?
The right lane. If you're coming from Gillard's direction.
So that will be the
The
inner.
inner lane.
Okay.
Yes. And if you're trying to go back to the Gillard's direction,
Yes, you stay in the inner
you
lane.
stay in the inner lane also.
Bad luck, I got pass, right? A pass?
No, with this roundabout now, we newly installed the slip lane, which is coming from the St. Peter's direction
Yes.
now. Now, you realize that we had the cutout or the the temporary road between the at the runway.
Yes.
Now that was a hazard, both to road users and the airport. And because of how low the aircrafts come, you don't want any mishaps, and then persons start getting sued for stuff that they should have exercised the security and the safety for persons. So that was cut out, blocked off, put an end to. The new slip lane now was installed, which starts from the bus stop. Now that's to the bottom of Shadwell, and it goes straight around down back to the where the vehicles used to exit when they had the
Correct.
cutout.
Yes, I realize that.
No.
Yeah.
We understand that the highway could be very busy at time, and that's why that slip lane has such a lengthy
Yes. Yeah.
part. Now, one of the issues we have, persons use that slip lane as a parking. Patronize the vendors for personal use. Now, the slip lane is not a parking area. The slip lane is if someone is coming from the St. Peter's direction, and while trying to merge back into the main lane, they realize that the traffic is busy. They have a lengthy space
To just
to continue.
Yes. And to keep the
Give them
traffic flowing.
adequate time and the flow to be continuous, where they can merge
Right.
instead of having just a short. Because, for example, at Canary, persons are very courteous to other drivers there. But sometimes drivers would have to stop because of how short it is, and while they're coming around, sometimes it's hard for a vehicle to just make a sudden stop to allow you out. So you would have to be there waiting for a little while. So that still kind of slow up the flow, the free flow. Now the St. Peter's slip lane, tremendous, lengthy, and persons are utilizing it better than I thought, actually. But then again, I realized somebody already collided to the sidewalk. So it's like on a regular, when nothing was there, nobody was colliding there. As they make a slip lane, people start colliding there.
The word sweet. Think it's word sexy.
So no, that slip lane was placed to, reduce congestion. So you don't want persons intending to go to Taylor's direction to go down into Bastia, backed up with the traffic that is intending to go to Greenlands and still intending to go to Buckley's. So you give them that leeway to separate themselves for different directions.
I believe that once pedestrians, motorists, cyclists, everyone have to play the role. And I believe that if we really be a little more courteous, because sometimes I've seen where people, and I'm included myself, because I'm not here just to say about people, because I'm a part of this whole education, understanding the road. I see where the person that will be driving and they do not slow down, they just come and just continue, and then you might be coming around and they figure out that they could chance it. As you said, the person that want to take chances, and they, sometimes they chance it, but they put somebody else in fear, because the other person might not even be a seasoned driver.
Yes.
So I really think that the roundabout is very, very good. I need to ask you this question. From a traffic enforcement perspective, what are the primary behaviors or actions that officer will be monitoring to ensure safe and efficient traffic flow through the roundabout?
No,
Just your perspective.
yes, the police don't really be there stationary at the roundabout to say we
But
be
let's suppose
we be
they
looking for
happen to
something.
be there, right? And okay, prime example, you're police, you're driving, you might not be on duty, but you see something or whatever. What would you do? Your perspective. I mean, you can't watch everything. You can't micromanage everything.
And we basing on the roundabout, right? Well, what we would be looking for is what people should be doing, and
Yes.
if they're not doing it, you kind of inquire. For example, if I'm approaching the roundabout and I see a vehicle which is supposed to give way to me, just dash through the roundabout recklessly, if I could get that number plate, I would forward the report to whoever is working or what's not in our chat,
That's
for-
the answer we're looking for.
for them to inquire as to who is the driver.
I'm gonna be a rebel, cause I know the road is mine. From dusk till dawn is only party on my mind. If I must swim across the waters, parachute only. Carnival ain't missing me, I'll be right there. So jump on a boat, hop on a plane.
Animal ain't missing me.
Walk in the sun, dance in the rain.
Animal ain't missing me.
So jump on a boat, hop on a plane.
Animal ain't missing me.
Walk in the sun, dance in the rain.
Animal ain't missing me.
Time to mash up again. So I tell them now. Carnival ain't missing me. Carnival ain't missing me. Carnival ain't missing me. Tell them that I ready with me racks up, flags up. Everybody linking with the crew for the jump up. Racks up with my friends by my side. No, that's a link up. Cause Carnival ain't missing me. So jump on a boat, hop on a plane.
Animal ain't missing me.
Walk in the sun, dance in the rain.
Animal ain't missing me.
So jump on a boat, hop on a plane.
Animal ain't missing me.
Walk in the sun, dance in the rain.
Animal ain't missing me.
Time to mash up again. So I tell them now.
Excited for that also.
Carnival ain't missing me. Carnival ain't missing me. Carnival ain't missing me.
Heated situation or a near collision within the roundabout. What immediate steps should they take and what reporting procedures are in place?
Well, you see, traveling in the roundabout, you have to be very, very, very cautious. So if you manage to avoid a collision, the first thing you should do is try your best to exit that roundabout safely. Find somewhere that you can pull off, and then you determine whether if you could see the vehicle still and you try to get the number, or if you're gonna make a call, or if you're gonna breathe off after that anxiety or what's not. But for you to stay in the roundabout, just like that and trying to, look for the vehicle number, you'll be causing more hazard to yourself.
I like what you just said because sometimes you will have accident and it might be a little minor where the vehicle can actually come out instead of just staying there waiting for the police, right?
Person should remain at the position that they're at.
So, but what
In
if
an
it's minor though?
Still. Because as minor as it is, you might have been the one wrong. But when the police come, you change your story.
Dashcam.
What if they don't have?
Sure.
You change your story, the other person have a different story, and there we go again. Oh, your word against that other person's word. I can't take side. I was not there. I didn't see how it happened. You might have said you was on this side, And the next person will say, no, I was the one on this side. Now the police come, the police have nothing to work with. So we don't encourage persons to move. When I said to exit the roundabout, after you ask, what if there was a near collision?
Okay.
You ask it. If there's a collision, you stay stationary. You ensure that you're safe. If you want to exit the vehicle, be very careful how you exit the vehicle. And try your best to alert the traffic as to what is going on. You put on your hazard lights and what's not, and you call the police. In terms of directing the traffic, we see civilians do it. We accept, we thank them for assisting the police.
Yeah.
But really and truly, the police are the ones who are supposed to be officially directing the traffic.
What
Because-
if no police around and you have an emergency with somebody else want to pass?
That's why I said we accept the help, but officially, the police are the one who are, because what if you're directing the traffic and you
yeah.
cause an accident? They're gonna blame you.
Right.
You see?
Yes.
And then for you trying to be a good Samaritan, you come the most hated. So you have to be very careful when you're dealing with society.
That
on a
is
whole.
true. I just want to let you know because it's 8:56. What is it?
The voice note.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Before I ask the voice, I want to ask you this here so we can wrap up. What resources or educational materials are available from the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force to help residents become more proficient in using modern roundabouts?
The radio, our social media platform,
Yeah.
and their driving instructors. The main persons to educate or give these materials to the drivers are the instructors. The instructors are the one who are, basically educating you before you go and do your tests. The police only test to see your competency. The instructors are who are supposed to prepare you and educate you for the road. Now, the police is really there to enforce. But with enforcing, we understand that education must be there. Okay? Ignorance to the law is no excuse. So even if you come and you say, well, officer, I didn't know, that's not my fault.
All right, somebody is asking what is the social media platform?
On Facebook, the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, they have a Facebook page. They give all their updates there. In terms of convictions, restrictions, information, everything they post on that.
Nice. And someone just messaged and they said, why are communities' roads are not properly labeled and traffic signs, no stop signs, no giveaway signs, and why there are so many cows roaming the roads in the Shadwell and East CCB roundabout area?
The signs, I can't make much comment of. That's a joint operation between the police force, public works, other officials. So my part is really when the signs are up to enforce what the restrictions are or whatever the signs are, advising the drivers to use. In terms of who placed them, where they placed them, and when they placed them, I have nothing to do with that. So it would be very above my hat for me to come and make a comment on that, especially the why part.
Right, nice.
I don't know why.
I got
Claim.
you.
So
Well-
that's the real talk. I don't know why.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
Before I let you wrap up, I just want the public to know that previously we had Mr. Bogan. I think he was a soldier, and he was on the Real Talk with Lavi, and Mr. Welcome gave him a donation. He came through and gave him a donation. So Bergen wanted to let the public, he wanted to let the public know and to thank them. So, Tough House, are you ready to play that? Yes, so we're going to hear Mr. Bergen saying thank you to the public. So, Tough House, we're ready for you.
A pleasant good evening to each and every one. I would just like to take this opportunity to just big up Lavi and her Real Talk program, where she discuss matters of social ills, concerns that everyday people are challenged with. And a few weeks ago, I ran into Lavi. We had a spontaneous interview, and I just want to thank her very much for bringing such a story to the general public. And after putting out my story, well, a little more in depth, I would also like to say thank you for Mr. Welcome. His promised has came true. He has materialized what he said he was going to do. So he promised to make a contribution, and I want to let the general public know that that contribution was successful publicly. I already thank him personally, and here I am publicly again, just thanking him for his kind donation. So thank you, Mr. Welcome, so very much for rendering your assistance. And I just want to continue to big up Lavi and what she's doing. Continue doing what you are doing. You are doing a great job, and Real Talk with Lavi is the real program to listen to. Much love and appreciation. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening and a good night rest.
Well, I just want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks for Mr. Welcome. I did not even know about this. He sent me a voice note and he asked me to play it publicly because it was something public that, we was having. So thanks so much for Mr. Welcome for coming through and, giving the donation to Mr. Bogan. In the meantime, I want to tell you, thank you so much, Mr. Bell, for being here. What did I say? Don't judge a book. Because you're coming in here all neat and everything, and your delivery, your wall of experience and education and knowledge, and very humble and wise in answering some of the questions.
Yes.
Yeah, big up to that. And I just want to ask you if you have any positive words of remarks to anyone out there that is on the road and are using not just the roundabout, but in traffic in particular here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Well, I just want to encourage persons, to continue to drive safe, those who drive safe, and, those who take the chance and be reckless, don't let the crowd boost you up. As Nature B would say, don't let your friends them boost you up. Drive safe, be courteous to other road users, do what you would want persons to do to you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And as I said, the life that you save
Could
can
be your very own.
Your very own. I always remember that, especially from King Socrates. So once again, thank you for being here on behalf of the Royal St. Christopher Police Force. I truly appreciate it to being here presenting such a timely information to the public on Real Talk with Lavi. Coming up next, these guys are ready to these guys are ready to release, but I understand that we have a phone call. I got to let the person know that is calling in. 1 minute. Hello.
Yes, thank you. Good night, Lavi.
Good
And
night.
I must say, well humbled officer Bell. I don't judge a book by the cover.
For
Yes,
real.
certainly. I like your stats,
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks,
and
thanks.
I just happened to chime in because I was wondering what the topic was tonight. But I chime in late. But it just so happened that I heard the public thank you to me, Winston, and I would like to elaborate on such. It's better to give than receive. There is a happiness when you give and you be a solution to some need. Maybe not the full need, but I feel very good, and I will do it again should needs be. And I must say thanks to Lavi. It's I can't find a word to really express, but I'm quite happy. So thank you for that. Um, I mean, you were the first to really give me a publication worldwide, and that goes quite a distance and more. So thank you once again, and I will encourage everyone to help those who are in need, vice versa. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Mr. Welcome. He come in the right time, eh? But anyway, once again, this is Real Talk with Lavi. I want to thank everyone that tuned in tonight. Tell a friend, tell them all. Real Talk is a program for St. Kitts and Nevis. Positive, that is what, or that is what we strive for. I also want to say before I leave, we were supposed to have someone out of Jamaica because Real Talk with Lavi, we all over. But due to the condition over there in terms of the Wi-Fi and everything, unfortunately, it didn't make any sense to do it tonight. But they're definitely going to be on board because they're on grounds telling us what is happening and say, Lavi, it is bad. And it really touched me when they said that, we know hurricane is bad, but the aftermaths, and sometimes we think the hurricane gone, but it takes years for many. You have the older people, we have people that have children, people that pregnant. It's bad.
Yeah, and just to add to that, we find that a lot of persons are criticizing the persons who are actually making the donations.
Yes.
And they who are making the criticism haven't donated anything.
Nothing.
You find persons say only that they could have donated,
Yeah.
but what did you donate?
Absolutely.
You know,
And
so-
$1, $2, $5 goes a long way if thousands of
Yeah.
us, do little. But again, I just want to thank the general public. Tonight is a special night. WinnFM is a station definitely to be on. Stay log on, people, because it's only the carnival, it's the
Bacchanal.
spirit here, the bacchanal and tough house. He wants it, tough house, he done, he done set for these guys. So we'll talk with Lavi, same place next week. We always keep it a surprise. Yeah, man. Enough respect. This is Lavern Davis, and I am from the island of St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night.
Don't
Let's Get Real on WinnFm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's Get Real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinnFM. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers it all. Let's Get Real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinnFm.